back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do the recap for the latest week in football, week 3. Definitely can say it was an eventful one. Definitely.
Yeah, pretty exciting stuff, but then again, it's the NFL. Something exciting is always happening. But
yeah, but not this exciting.
We
We don't get this that often.
3 really exciting games.
Really exciting. 2 of them I could say I did not see coming, and the third one was just amazing.
Right.
Amazing. So we're gonna get right straight into the nitty gritty. We're gonna get right into the Jets and the Raiders. Last week we both picked against the Raiders, but if you remember, we didn't want to.
Right.
He loves the Raiders. Well, you like the Raiders.
I like the Raiders.
I love the Raiders. I want them to be back to the old John Madden Raiders with Kenny
Yes.
the Snake Stabler. I want that back. It ain't gonna happen with Al Davis because they won. They won, ladies and gents. Al Davis will kill it.
Right. Yeah.
Kill it.
He'll find some way to ruin their season.
Terrell Pryor starts next week.
Yeah,
kill it.
something will happen.
But I mean, McFadden, 171 yards.
Yeah, he really did really
looked like
well.
an animal. Really looked like an animal. 2 touchdowns. He was averaging about 9 yards a carry.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty.
He took the
base.
game over in the second half, and I mean, it just couldn't stop him.
No, they took over in the second half between him and Seabass, Sebastian Janikowski. I mean, they were
Raiders
pretty
controlled
beast. They controlled it, except for one aspect.
Was
He has his moments where he'll shine once more. LDT, LaDainian Tomlinson,
Yep.
116 yards receiving, not rushing, receiving.
All right, so now here's my things about this game.
All right, I was interested in hearing about this.
All right, so Rex Ryan has this defense set up. It's been set up. Everyone knows what it is. It's got great corners, great secondary play. Okay, that's what it's got.
That's what he's done.
You were playing the Raiders, Rex. Can the Raiders pass? No. They're going to run and run and run. The Jets have to understand you can't rely on those corners against non-passing teams. When you play a team that's going to run the ball and can run the ball well, they're going to do it. Not everybody is the Patriots. You built this team to beat New England. Not everyone is New England. There's other people you need to beat. You know, that's my thing.
Sean Ellis leaving the Jets, I honestly think hurt
Right.
the Jets' defensive game when it comes to the run. He's a big guy. Him going to New England really affect the Jets. Linebacker core, Bart Scott.
Yeah.
You had Jonathan Vilma.
Right.
You had Vilma. You let him go.
Man, can you imagine Rex and Jonathan Vilma? That would have been pretty ridiculous.
But no,
To
Jonathan
keep all that
Vilma.
together.
They're like, oh, we don't want you. We're gonna with Bart Scott. How'd you feel about that, Jonathan
They'll
Vilma?
go ahead and go to the Saints and win a Super Bowl.
That's right. They couldn't get his interview because he was in Disney celebrating his Super
Right.
Bowl at the time that he won with
And
Drew
then,
Brees.
and then my next thing is, on a team with Santonio Holmes and Plexico Burress, how is LaDainian your leading receiver? Why are you not finding other people? I know Plex had a touchdown, but
I'll let Plex go because Plex is still trying to get into the groove. He ain't found it yet. I mean, person does that to you. Going for a long time, does it to you. Santonio Holmes, that one, yeah. I mean, he had an amazing catch in the game, a couple of them. But my thing is it really the receivers or is it Mark Sanchez?
Mark Sanchez threw for over 300. You know, I mean, he was passing all over the Raiders, but when you're playing a team that can grind the ball and just slow the game down, it's tough
is
to
it
win.
the Raiders they were underestimated by the Jets?
Well, yeah,
the Jets just kind of
like I said,
pushovers.
the Jets are built.
Cares?
The Jets are built to beat certain teams.
Oh, certain? I thought just one.
The Patriots, the Packers, and the Saints. Passing teams,
Not running teams.
not running teams.
I think Danny Woodhead proved that last year with the Patriots.
So, I don't know, but we'll go ahead and get into our next game. Speaking of the Patriots,
Patriots versus
Brett's Buffalo Bills.
my Buffalo Bills.
Now, before we get any further, I'm going to remind everyone. Last week, during our predictions,
I'll never forget this.
Brett said, if the Bills win this game, I'm buying a Ryan Fitzpatrick jersey. Since no one thought the Bills were going to win, well, some people did. The Bills are starting to get some
I
attention.
tend to write these checks, and I don't like the cash.
But I'm going to make him do something Ryan Fitzpatrick related. I mean, I'm not going to make him go out and buy a $200 authentic NFL jersey, but he's getting some sort of Ryan Fitzpatrick gear, and he's going to wear it every time the Bills win. On the very next show, he will wear it.
I'll wear it. I'm going to be a good sport about it. I'm not going to whine and cry. Week 1, I put my foot in my mouth.
Yep.
I really did. I'm not going to lie.
I loved it.
He loved it. You
I
all loved it.
put my foot in my mouth with Cam Newton, so
So did I.
we're all kind of in the same boat.
Like you're going to a Blaine Gabbert and Kellen Moore when he comes to the NFL.
Yeah, no, neither one of them. Epic fail, both of them.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Buffalo Bills, wow. That's what I can say. Wow. They were down by 21 to the Golden Boy, Mr. Perfect Tom Brady.
Did
And
not look so perfect.
No.
The Bills found out that he is actually a mortal man.
We all found out.
This is true.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 interceptions by Tom Brady. He threw 4 interceptions all of last year. 1 game, all of last year.
That's pretty impressive.
Wow. And not even just like one corner who was really good picked him off. 4 people picked him off. One of them taken back to the house.
That really changed the game.
That gave him the lead.
That's right.
And
Didn't
then,
it tie? I thought it tied it.
No, it gave him the lead.
Did he
And
give
then
him the lead?
Wes Welker
tied it.
scored a
That's right.
touchdown to tie it.
Speaking of Wes Welker, he put up ridiculous numbers. He had 16 catches, over 200 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, including the one that you just mentioned that tied the game up. But, I mean, in the end...
And in ESPN, he was the #1 fantasy player of the week with 42 points. But Wes Welker put up that touchdown. It was great. But even though he tied it...
A 30-yard field goal ends the game.
Wins the game for the Buffalo Bills.
But it was a good matchup. Brady and Fitzpatrick both threw over 350, and great game. So
it was a great game.
We'll talk about the Bills a little later. We got some more to talk about with them. But we'll move on to our last game of the week, which features our second installment of our Player of the Week. We didn't have a fancy picture this time because it didn't show up so well, but we'll have one at the end of the video of our Player of the Week. A nice little fun one, just like Jessica Simpson one. But, so this game is the Vikings and the Lions. We both picked the Lions, and we sit and we monitor these scores during the weeks because we like to know how we're doing with our picks. And the Lions were getting stomped.
Stomped?
Stomped.
Stomped? It was... What was the score?
It was a 20-point lead at halftime with the Vikings.
20-point lead.
And
not like 30-10. It was 20-0.
20-0. Lions aren't putting any points up. Matt Stafford's playing and then he kind of came out in the second half and went off.
I would have loved to see what it looked like in the locker room during halftime. Stating. He was probably ticked.
But he came out, he completed over 70% of his passes in the second half. He got it done with his established guy, Calvin Johnson Jr. He had 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards.
Megatron. I don't know where the nickname came from.
Doesn't matter.
But it works for him because you know what? He's just a machine.
Right.
He is the machine.
And then Pettigrew also, the tight end.
Pettigrew looked good.
He had 11 catches. I mean,
Javid Best ran for 14 yards.
Ground game wasn't there, but Matt Stafford showed that he if he's not at that next level, he's close. So he put the team on his back and got to work.
Jared Allen looks really great. Jared Allen looked amazing. That's why there was no run game.
Right.
And the defense looked solid on that final drive. We all thought it was going to be the final drive for the Lions. And then Vikings got the ball, kicked a field goal, and I was like, oh, well, they tied it. So we're in overtime, and the person who wins the Lions the game is the man who benefited the Lions the most in the game, was their kicker Hansen, who went 4 for 4, and the 1 out of the 4 was the game-winning field goal.
Right. So we did give Matt Stafford our Player of the Week. So go ahead and give him some of his numbers.
He went 32 for 46. He went 378 yards with 2 touchdowns, not a single interception. Look at the stats when he's healthy, folks. Look at the stats.
He is.
The man
He
is
is
legit.
he's one of the top tier
When
guys.
he is healthy, he is a top 10 quarterback.
Yep.
Maybe top 5 if he's close.
He's up there. Like I said, this
when
game,
healthy.
going out and putting the team on your shoulders, I think that shows that if he's not at the next level, he's definitely ready
Oh yeah,
to get there.
he's ready to get it.
So we're going to go ahead and do our predictions here then in our next video. And this week, instead of a hot button, we are going to go ahead and do one of our toss-ups.
Toss-up's been a while, folks. I'm kind of.
Yep.
I wonder what his answers are going to be this week.
We got some really good questions coming in toss-up. So stick around and thanks for watching.
Yep.